Okay, so we just did that little drill. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and see what we did so we can explain this. So if you're working well with partners, guys, I'm a little disappointed because I heard a lot of just side conversations. When I walked around, some people weren't working. That is wasting our own time. So you got to make sure when we have our exploration, you're focused on math. Or I will not have you in a small group because you're showing you cannot do that and you're just being a distraction. So doing the first one, we had 3 plus 2 times 2. It said to add then multiply. So if I had to add first and then multiply, what would your answer have become? What was our answer in this very first one? Stella? Good. If I added first, 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5 times 2 is 10. Well, let's go back to this one. Exact same problem. But this says to multiply, then add. 2 times 2 is 4. And then 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay? We'll review this in just a second. We're going to go to B. Both problems say 18 minus 3 times 3. What did you get for the first one when we had to subtract and then multiply?
I got 25. I subtracted 18 and 15.
Okay. And then 15 times 3 is? 25. Oh, I thought you were saying 25. I was like, huh. Good. 15 times 3 is 45. If we did the exact same problem, but we multiplied it first, you would have done 3 times 3 is 9. 18 minus 9 is 9. Okay, we can stop there on this exploration, because it should give us a picture. I told you the very first criteria we were was to explain why do we have an order of operations. Well, if we look at this, we just did 2 examples. Exact same numerical equation. Remember, numerical expression. Numerical means number, and expression means it's a problem written out without the answer. It's an expression, kind of like a smirk or a smile sort of expression. You don't tell me how you're feeling, but you're showing it to me. So numerical expression is showing me a problem using only numbers. So if I have the exact same one, can I get different answers? Is that a problem? Would that be a problem, do you think? We do it the wrong way. Businesses, companies, insurance companies, they use these kind of equations all the time where they have multiple things happening. Well, what if the one accountant looks at it to see how much money you guys are making? We'll pretend this is millions of dollars. And he's like, we made 45 million. And you really only made 9 million. Would that be a big difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then the business owner might be like, wow, we got a lot of money. I'm going to buy this, I'm going to increase this. And then we have no money left. Or maybe this was expenses. Hey, we owe them $45 million. And you only owe them 9. Even if this is regular numbers for some things that we will see in real life, hey, I owe you $45 when really I should have only owed 9. That's a big difference. I'm not rich enough that I can just give $36 away every time I feel like it. Okay? So, why do we choose order of operations? What's the benefit of it? Who thinks they could summarize that? Why do we have to have an order of operations?
It breaks everything down for us to make it easier.
Good. Breaks everything down, makes it easier. And what else does it ensure? What's it make sure happens? Harley? That we all get the same answer. Alright, you guys can put this to the side. And what I need you to get out are your notes. I gave you your notes. They should be right in front of you. Okay. Because of the drill, we're just a little behind schedule from where I want you to have a lot of time to work on your homework. So make sure you're following along. First thing I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to write my name up here. I'm going to say 1P, first block purple, and today's date is 8-28. Now, when we get into this, after we work out order of operations, our goal is on one of these little days for review. We got a couple games to play. We're first going to learn about it. Our learning target again is write and evaluate numerical expressions used in order of operations. Your goal today, by the end of class, we've said this before, is you know what the order of operations are and you can use it to solve a problem. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to go right in here and I'm going to write out two things. First thing I'm going to write down is PEMDAS. Now, I like PEMDAS, and the way I wrote it is with the M and the D above each other and the A and the S. And the reason is, the most important thing is, PEMDAS stands for our order of operations. We have parentheses. We have exponents. We have multiplication or division, and addition or subtraction. The most important thing though is no matter what, we look at the equation left and right. When we go to work, we go left to right. And this is where multiplying and dividing come into play here. One of the biggest mistakes is people go, okay, I'm going to look for multiplication. And they get done, and then they look for division. No. When you look left to right, it's multiply or divide, whichever one comes first. You will see those examples today. Same thing with addition, subtraction. There's also, if you're more comfortable, I'm going to use it just because it's been said. Is it GEMDAS? Gemma. See, I don't use Gemma as much, so we'll talk about it though. Okay, so for Gemma, this one was grouping, correct? This is exponents. And then when you use Gemma, because a number of you have told me, did you say the M is multiply or divide? Okay, so you didn't have a abbreviation for it. Multiply or divide. And then add or subtract. You'll see that we have the exact same thing. It's just which acronym do you like better? And either one's totally fine with me today. Okay? You have to use what works for you. Alright, we're going to do example one. This really should not take us too long. I am going to model how you should do it on your homework though today, okay? So, I promise you, if you use my way, it really, really helps you stay organized. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you want to write that part down? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to look at the very first one. It says, evaluate. Ooh. You can tell me, what's evaluate mean again? Passive? Kind of explore. It's part of it.
Answer.
Mainly it means answer. Evaluate means to solve for it. What's the answer? So I have the equation 12 minus 2 times 4. Now when I did elementary, I made my students on every single question. I'm not going to make you unless your person needs it. On every single equation, they did this. They wrote PEMDAS down next to each equation. And then they checked it as they went. First thing, are there parentheses in my equation? 12 minus 2 times 4. Are there any parentheses? Or any brackets? No. So they cross it off. Exponents. We're going to look left to right. Are there any exponents? No. They cross it off. Are there any multiplication or division? This is important. I look left to right. Subtraction. Oh, there's my multiplication. Because we come up to it, this is how you can show your work. Have the problem written down, and we're going to draw a funnel. Everyone knows what a funnel is, right? It's like a cone where you pour things in. It takes them from a wide, and it narrows them down into one area. When we do a funnel here, what I'm going to say is 2 times 4 becomes what? What is 2 times 4? So I write down 8. Then I must copy anything from the equation back down. 12 minus, and there's nothing else. So then I'm done with that step. You should use line by line on your paper. Hey, I still have multiply and divide. Even though I've done it once, I go back to my new equation. This is now my new equation. 12 minus 8. No multiplication or division. Done with it. Is there an addition or subtraction? Well, yeah, there's only subtraction. I'm going to filter down again. 12 minus 8 is 4. And that is my answer. That is all you have to do. And this is how I'd like to see your work today. I need to see every single step. We're going to do it only one step at a time. When you've proven to me you can do it, I'll show you the other little shortcuts. Before we're at right now, we're going to go step by step. Evaluate 60 divided by bracket, parentheses, 4 plus 2, parentheses, times 5, bracket. Looks like a lot. It's not. I'm going to start over here. PEMDAS. First thing is my parentheses. So I look. Are there parentheses? Yeah, there is. Now remember, parentheses includes brackets. So the first thing is the outside brackets. On the brackets, I am looking at parentheses 4 plus 2 parentheses times 5. Next, inside my parentheses, I'm going to look for more parentheses because I'm not done with that part yet. Are there any parentheses inside my bracket? Marley? So I'm inside there now. Inside my parentheses, are there any other parentheses? No. Okay, so is there any exponents inside there? On 4 plus 2, is there any exponents? No. Is there any multiplication or division? No. There's only one problem, and it's addition, subtraction. So I'm going to show my funnel, and it's going to be 4 plus 2 is 6. Here's the important thing you must do. We are going to continue to rewrite the entire equation. Do I have to put the 6 in parentheses? No, because it's the only number left. It's been simplified. So I now have 60 divided by, the bracket stays, 4 plus 2 is 6, times 5, bracket. I restart my PEMDAS. Are there parentheses? Are there brackets? Yeah, so grouping. I get what you were saying. So I have my grouping still. So we only focus on here. The only thing I have inside my bracket is 6 times 5, which is 30. Because I've simplified my brackets down to one number, do I need the brackets anymore? Nope. So I rewrite my equation. 60 divided by 30. We're only left with that. 60 divided by 30 is 2. And that would be my answer. Hopefully I see everyone taking these notes with me and doing it with us. Remember, we'll turn these in. This is what you can get help for your homework. I want you to see if you can do this by yourself. So I'm going to pause our video for a second. Go ahead. Work on try it number 1, 2, and 3. If you get stuck, raise your hand. I'll help you. Or talk with the people in your table group. If you get done, check your answer. See if you guys got the same thing. Alright, so we're going to restart on this one. We're on the try it. Remember, I showed you how to do a couple, now you're going to explain it to me. So who can explain number 1? I'll write for you. You tell me what to do. John, what do you want me to do first? It says 7 times 5 plus 3.
7 times 5 equals 35.
Okay.
And you add 8 to that, which is 38.
Awesome. Following order of operations. Multiplication first. Rewrite the problem. Addition. Alright, let's give John 2 claps and a Ric Flair. 1, 2, 3. That was weak. You guys remember who Ric Flair is? We went over this, right?
He's a wrestler.
He's a wrestler and he always went, woo! So we do 2 claps to Ric Flair. We go, woo! Alright, good job, John. Who can explain number 2 to me? Parentheses, 28 minus 20, parentheses divided by 4. Who haven't I heard from? What do you got for me?
Well, first you do 28 minus 20.
Why?
Just because it's in parentheses.
Very good. Parentheses first.
And that's 8.
28 minus 20 is 8. I rewrite my problem.
And then divided by 4 is 2.
8 divided by 4 is 2. Awesome job. Let's give him 2 claps and a Ric Flair. 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
That's disappointing. Now, the hard one. Ooh, hard one. Number 3, bracket 6 plus parentheses 15 minus 10 parentheses bracket times 5. Braden, do you think you can do it?
Yeah.
Alright, what do you think we should do first?
15 minus 10.
Good. I see my brackets. And then inside those are parentheses. So we go there first. 15 minus 10 is?
5.
And then I'm going to rewrite everything. Bracket 6 plus, I get rid of my parentheses since I simplified it. Awesome. Now what?
6 plus 5.
We're still in the brackets because that's my grouping. 6 plus 5. 11.
11 times 5 equals 55. Simple math.
Awesome. Well put. Now, this was very easy math, actually. That's what Braden just said. Very simple math. It looked big. It looked a little scary. But when you do it step by step, it's a piece of cake. Alright, let's do 2 claps and a Ric Flair for Braden. Let's see if we can do it better. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a little better. Hey, I'm missing my example too. Oh, I'm missing a whole set of my notes.
Oh my gosh, how could you miss?
Well, that's awesome. Let me get my paper copy. Alright. Okay, I'll have to use this. Guys, stay with me. Example 2. What do you notice right away is a little bit different on this one? What's different with these problems? Braden? There's what? Yeah, not fractions, exponents. Okay? So, I'm going to go in example 2. Make sure you're doing this with me. It says, evaluate. I still prefer me doing this. Okay, PEMDAS, parentheses. They're right here. Exponent. So the way I will do this one is, I'm going to filter only 2 times 3. or 2 times 3, I'm sorry, 2 to the third power. Now, remember, we talked about you can show your work as much as you need. If I go over here, 2 to the third power means 2 times 2 times 2. So that is 4, 8. So when I filter this down, I get 8. And I rewrite my problem. I cannot stress this enough. Today on your homework, I need to see a new line for each problem. We are reworking it each time. I still have parentheses. Inside my parentheses, though, there's only addition. So 7 plus 8 is 15. We rewrite our equation. We no longer need the parentheses because we've simplified it. 7 plus 8 first was 15. I no longer have parentheses. I have no more exponents. What is my next step? Do I do 30 divided by 15 or do I do 15 times 6?
30 divided by 15.
Why? Awesome. Working left to right, it's multiply or divide. 30 divided by 15 is 2. I rewrote my equation. 2 times 6 is 12. Alright, let's quickly, I'll pause. I want you to work with your partners. I showed it with exponent. Why don't you guys just do let's do number 4 and number 6. Skip 5. 4 and 6. Okay, our first group got done. Let's go over this. First thing, number 4. What should I have done first? First group, Cole. What would I do first?
2 to the 4th power.
Very good. We have an exponent. 2 to the 4th power if I showed my work. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which I could say is 4. 4 and 4 times 4 is 16. Cole, what's next?
And if we do left to right, well, there's no multiplication or division, so we go on to adding and subtracting. So first we tell 16 plus 6.
22. I like how you explain that, Cole. 22 minus 1 is 101. Alright, great job. Okay, let's go to number 6. Ooh, this one was the harder one. Who thinks they can do it? Melora? What did I just say? Mallory. Oh my gosh. I give up. Go ahead.
So the exponents is 2 to, or 5 to the 2nd power is 25 minus 7 is 3.
Okay, so in my parentheses, we did the exponent first. I rewrite it, I still have parentheses.
And then the parentheses for that is 18.
So I do parentheses 25 minus 7 is 18. Okay.
And then you have to do the 18 divided by 3, which is 6. And then 16 plus 6 is 3.
Alright, great job. Alright. Last example that we're going to do. And then we can start working on homework. It says 9 plus 8 minus 2 all over 3. Now there's a reason I want to show. I'm pretty sure I did not assign anything like this in your homework. But I want you guys to understand it. When we have a fraction, does anyone know what that means?
No.
A fraction, if I have 5 over 10. I'm going to draw an example over here. Put this in your notes if you would. 5 over 10 as a fraction. The reason we use fractions a lot of times, and I actually used it just the other night. I had to run to Costco, and I was comparing two prices on things, and so I was seeing how much that each unit costs, how many were in a package and how much it cost, and so I found out how much one cost to see which one was a better deal. When we do a fraction means division. Your numerator is being divided by your denominator. So 5/10 stands for 5 divided by 10. If I would have, let's do an easy one. Well, let's do this. Let's do 10. Oops, I didn't want to write it as a fraction. Sorry. If I have 10 divided by 2, we know what 10 divided by 2 is, right? It is, okay, it's going to be 5. Or I could write 10 divided by 2 as a fraction. If it's written as a fraction, 10 over 2, that still equals 5. It equals 5 wholes. Okay? So, what we have to do, if we have this problem, first step is we have to rewrite it. And we're going to rewrite it left to right. So, follow with me here. I'm going to write down the 9. Plus. Now, in the numerator, I have something going on, and I have division. Because I have a fraction here, I'm going to go ahead and put it as a bracket. In parentheses, I'm going to list my numerator first, which is 8 minus 2 divided by 3. That is the exact same equation. When we have this, and we're doing a fraction, I first had to simplify my numerator. So I have it in parentheses. And then I have to divide it by my denominator. But since that was a fraction, that meant those had to go together. So I had to use my brackets to group them. Okay? We would solve it like normal. I'm not going to spend the time. I think we've done enough practice. We don't have to do every step. You're going to do it for your homework. The last thing I want to look at is this last evaluate. On this last evaluate, can anyone tell me what is my first step? John? Okay, parentheses. So let's do this. 13 plus 7 is 20. Now here's the trick, so make sure everyone's paying close attention. When I rewrite this equation, I do 10 minus 8. Now hold on, there's no symbol. They didn't have addition or subtraction or multiplying or dividing signs. So does that mean I just put the 8 and this is 10 minus 820? What does it mean if they put a number right outside the parentheses signs? Remember, I told you how mathematicians, a lot of times, we get lazy or we don't want to write things we don't have to. So instead of writing 2 times 2 times 2, we say 2 to the third. We just did that. This is another example. Cool? Very good. If you ever have a number right outside parentheses, it means to multiply. You're doing the distributed problem. So when I rewrite the problem, I don't need parentheses anymore. You have two options. I could put parentheses around just 20, or I could just add in the multiplication sign. And then I still have divided by 4 squared. I want to keep working on this one because this is going to hit everything. We did parentheses. What will I do next? exponents. 4 squared is 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm still going to write all this out. What will I do next? I have 10 minus 8 times 20 divided by 16. What do you think we do next? Olivia?
20 divided by 16.
No. Braden?
2 times 8.
Addison?
8.
Good. Remember, we've done parentheses. We did our exponents. And now we multiply or divide. And you saw the division. But remember, left to right, there's a multiplication problem that came first. So 10 minus 8 times 20 is 160. And now, Olivia, we do our division. 160 divided by 16. Anyone know that one? Marley?
10.
Very good. It is 10. Bless you. And 10 minus 10 is... Alright. We are going to stop there. I know we have other extra practice, but you're actually going to practice those here with your homework. So, where do I want you to put your notes? Where do they go? Put these in our Avid binder. I'm actually gonna let you recycle. We probably should have torn it out. Alright, so, boys, girls, listen. Right now I have in my Avid binder, syllabus, how to navigate, multiplication chart, warm up, closure, lesson 1 notes. We are now putting in lesson 2 notes. This sheet, you guys can end up throwing away. I don't want us to keep it. It's just going to be extra stuff and I don't need it. I know, I probably shouldn't have. Now, get your homework paper in front of you. Blank piece of paper. I'm going to wait for everyone so we can start our homework. We still have time in class, so I'm going to let you have work time and get help, but you have to be paying attention. First thing I'm going to give you is you are going to do your homework all on here. For your assignment today, you must show all work and turn that paper in. If you do not turn it in, you cannot get full credit. So, we're going to do one example. So on the left, we're going to write example. This is the problem that's on Facebook that hundreds of people are making comments and it's driving me nuts because one of them was my friend who was a former teacher and they were arguing about the answer. And people cannot agree on the answer. They think it's one or the other. And they're like, oh, you can make an argument for either one. We just learned today. Can we argue order of operations? No. So the problem is 6 divided by 2 parentheses 1 plus 2. This is the problem everyone is arguing about on Facebook.
We're all 6 times.
This is grown-ups. I got friends that are grown-ups, professionals, and they are arguing. I see people on this, and then it's funny because you see people go, "Oh my gosh, this is so stupid," and they tell me the wrong answer. Let's see if we can use order of operations.
You better post this.
What is the first step we will do? John.
You'll do 1 plus 2.
Very good. First thing is we do parentheses. This is how I'm going to show my work on my paper. I like to do my funnel goes through one line. 1 plus 2 is 3. 6 divided by 2. And Cole told me, what does it mean when a number is outside the parentheses? Multiply. The second step, Jalissa, 6 divided by 2 times 3. What should I do now? What should I do next? Are there any parentheses? Is there any exponents? Good. Why do I do 6 divided by 2 and not 2 times 3? Left to right. Perfect. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 3 times 3 is... A lot of people argue the answer is 1. And the reason they did it was they said 1 plus 2 is 3. But because the 2 is outside the parentheses, I have to distribute it. So 2 times 3 is 6. And 6 divided by 6 is 1. And a lot of people make those comments and they're like, oh, it's order of operations. And they're like, yeah, you have to distribute. No. Was that 2 times inside the parentheses? No. Once we simplify that parentheses down to 3, the parentheses disappear because there's nothing left inside them except 3. This is order of operations. So, here's what you're going to do. You need to log into Big Ideas. Your homework, as shown before, oh, guys, listen so I can say this and I can post this. Your homework, due Friday morning, 7 a.m. The computer will mark when you turn it in. It has to be turned in by Friday, 7 a.m. or you have it late. It will count against you. There are 17 questions. First couple are review. They're from what we did in lesson 1. Okay? 17 questions. Show all your work. What is the number one thing I want you to do on your homework, though, besides showing your work? After you answer, I want you to do what?
Check it.
Check it. If it's wrong, change it. If you get lower than 80%, you're going to work with it on your own free time.